Yo, it's your boy the real PSW. You know, already know we finna get into a big NGU video, man. Alright, you already know how we do it, man. You already know what day it was. It was actually, not Merry Christmas. It was actually just Christmas. And I genuinely want to know, what did you guys get for Christmas? I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 10, 5, 1 years old. I don't know what you're doing on the phone at 1 year old, but what did you get for Christmas? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a happy holiday? Me personally, it was lit. You know, I'm trying to say, a little drink and a little, I'm trying to say the good things. But I genuinely had a really good time for my Christmas, man. I want y'all to comment down below, what did y'all get for Christmas? I'm talking about, I want to see the list. I want to see everything. I want to know everything. What did you do from when you woke up and when you ran downstairs and you see all the presents? What did you do? This is the type of things I want to know with my NGU family. You know what I'm trying to say, man. You already know how we building a community, man. But let's get on with the video, though, man. Like I said, comment down below what you got for Christmas. But what is it actually like to climb Mount Everest? Me personally, I would never ever go to somewhere that cold because I would genuinely die. I cannot stand the cold, and it's way too cold. And going that high, that is ridiculous. Way too goddamn high. But we're actually gonna see what it's actually like to climb Mount Everest. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Make sure you guys like the video. Help it push out to other people so they can join the NGU family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It would be greatly appreciated. And like I said before, comment down below what you got for Christmas. You know, understand what I'm saying? No. But yeah, let's get into a video, man.
Mount Everest is the highest point on the planet, peaking at a staggering 29,000 feet above sea level. Since it was scaled by Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, it has become the bucket list destination for climbers, thrill seekers, and general outdoor enthusiasts everywhere. But is it worth the time, money, and extreme danger to tread on top of the world? Today, we're taking a look at what it's actually like to climb Mount Everest. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and leave us a comment letting us know what other historic adventurous destinations you would like to hear about. Okay, hope you're wearing plenty of layers because we're going all the way to the top.
No, we're not. We're staying at the bottom in our cozy homes with the heaters on. Yes.
Stretching up from the Himalayas along the Chinese-Nepal border is Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain. You don't get a superlative like that without inviting a bunch of amateur adventurers to try and climb you. So, expeditions to the mountain's peak have become a lucrative industry. But climbing Mount Everest is no walk in the park, unless your parks extend 3.5 miles into the sky and require months of physical preparation to visit. Then it's exactly like walking in the park. While it only takes...
So on top of going to the tallest mountain, spending all that money, you have to train to climb it. I'm not saying like, I know you had to go through some preparation, but he said months, meaning multiple, more than one. That's crazy.
Takes about 5 days to go from base camp to the summit and back down again. Your body isn't quite ready to begin the ascent until it has gotten acclimated to the extreme conditions first. People who have successfully climbed Mount Everest describe the ordeal as being comparable to running on a treadmill while trying to breathe through a straw. Before getting to the peak, climbers must condition their bodies by spending time at various checkpoints throughout the ascent. These quick trips, or rotations, involve climbing to the next camp and back down to the original camp, followed by a resting period of 5 to 8 days between each climb. All of this is to prepare your red blood cells to make more oxygen for your lungs.
So
this step is...
This one trip to Mount Everest is what, like damn near, what, a week? 2 weeks? Like, that's crazy.
Unavoidable, and everyone, including Sherpas, must undergo this process. It's like an unskippable training mission in a video game.
No, it ain't. Not at all. You're lying. He's lying to us. He's lying.
It gets pretty goddamn cold up on Everest. The wind chill is minus 148 degrees for most of the year. Conditions only cooperate long enough for a human to make the climb for a small 2-week window at the end of May. But while the temperatures are toned down slightly, climbers are still at high risk for frostbite and hypothermia. Temperatures consistently drop below zero. Perfect conditions to cause loss of circulation in toes or fingers. Exposed skin can freeze instantly, like a T-100 blasted
on the top of me climbing the tallest mountain, I can lose all my fingers and feet? Baby. How is this ever good? Just to cross it
Frostbitten
out on my
skin
butt.
changes color and may cause joints to stop working. Affected digits must be warmed up quickly or risk amputation. Approximately 300 people have perished trying to scale Mount Everest since 1953, including 11 in 2019. Even with modern climbing gear, weather prediction, and GPS, 1 in every 100 climbers has a chillingly real chance of losing their lives on the way up. It's estimated there are roughly 200 ice-cold corpses sprinkled throughout the mountain, several of which are visible to climbers making the journey. These frozen sentinels are gruesome to observe, but not totally unexpected. It's understood by most climbers that at some...
I'm not gonna lie to you. So it's normal to see dead people at the top of the mountain? And to see them just on your journey to the mountain? That's crazy.
You're going to see a stiff. Due to the incredible costs
Calling
of
them a
retrieving
stiff
them
is
from
crazy.
their open-air graves, these long-expired adventurers are usually found exactly where they fell and remain there for years, like gas station billboards.
That's crazy, man. Oh my god. Oh man.
Imagine a frozen hellscape, complete with massive avalanches, near impassable crevasses, falling 100-ton blocks of ice, and delicate snow bridges that can collapse at any step. Now, we're not describing a national treasure film.
I don't see anything
That's
good
the
with
stone-cold reality of Khumbu Icefall. This colossal 3,000-foot-tall frozen waterfall could take anywhere from 3 to 8 hours to cross, using ropes and sometimes ladder bridges to make your way across the precarious crevasses. And if that doesn't get your heart racing enough, did we mention the whole ordeal is done in pitch-black darkness? In order to make the eventual descent in the daylight, climbers need to ascend through the dark wee hours of the morning, using only their headlamps to light the way. Once you're at the top, the danger of falling off the side only increases, with an 8,000-foot drop on one side and a 10,000-foot drop on the other. Climbers like to joke that if you're going to fall, choose the 10,000-foot drop. Why? Because you'll live longer. While making your way up any mountain, a climber can begin to develop a condition called acute mountain sickness, usually causing lethargy and headaches. But once you enter what is known as the death zone of Everest, those light symptoms can take a dangerous turn, which you probably guessed by the name. In addition to risks for a stroke and heart attack, a climber's lungs and brain are vulnerable to edema. High-altitude pulmonary edema, or HAPE, causes the lungs to fill with liquid, leading to shortness of breath, fluid-filled coughs, and the choking feeling of suffocation. So, leave the Marlboros at home. Every climber goes through some form of this nightmare scenario, and the symptoms can range from the obvious, like rasping lungs, to dangerously unobvious. And if you wanted some more scary acronyms, HACE, or High Altitude Cerebral Edema, is another condition which causes nausea, delirium, and brain swelling due to lack of oxygen. This can lead to some pretty odd behavior, such as shedding clothing in the frigid temperatures and talking to people who aren't there. Oh, unless they're talking to ghosts. There must be a few of them up there.
Like this
Even though
whole trip
climbers
is
work
just
diligently
ridiculous.
to acclimate themselves to the reduction in oxygen, human life just cannot be sustained at 8,000 meters. The oxygen is so thin, humans can't function, hence the name Death Zone. After all, they are hanging out in the same vicinity as small aircraft. Climbers do carry oxygen with them, but they need to pack so light for the trip already that there isn't room for a lot of it. Once you hit that not-so-sweet spot, it becomes a race against the clock between your mountaintop glory and your body literally shutting down.
What I want to know is, how did they figure out to actually climb this back in 1953? How did they even fathom? Oh, you know what? We're going to go to wherever this is located at, and we're going to climb Mount Everest. We're going to climb this specific mountain. This mountain that looks like the tallest mountain, we're going to climb it. We're going to figure out how to do it. We're going to call this the Death Zone. We're going to call this that. How do you actually figure out? How many people died on that trip? The very first voyage. Like, I just want to know, like, bro, that
Snow
is
blindness
crazy.
may sound like an affliction that makes you overpay for ski vacations, but it is yet another one of Everest's considerable dangers. For one thing, you're a lot closer to the sun up there than you are down here, and the sun is notoriously not eye-friendly. Also, all that low oxygen action we mentioned earlier can cause the blood vessels in your eyeballs to burst.
Bro.
That is, if they don't first straight up freeze in your skull like chilled grapes. Climber Brian Dickinson experienced a bone-chilling brush with snow blindness. During a solo climb, Dickinson dropped his goggles, allowing ice to form inside and crack the lenses. A descent that should have taken 3 hours took 7, as his eyeballs burned and his vision became blurry. Dickinson luckily had some naval training, which assisted his navigation. But the harsh conditions on Mount Everest are more than capable of blinding anyone who sets their eyes on it. Mount Everest is notoriously home to constant thievery. Most of the time, inexperienced climbers without oxygen steal the supplies they need to continue on, such as tanks and food. This can lead to life-threatening situations when a climber reaches into their pack for a sandwich.
So you're telling me that I'm sitting here trying to climb, risking my life to scratch off a thing on my bucket list, and there's people running around robbing me? What are you even doing? What are you doing up here, though? That's my fact. Like, that's what I want to
find
know,
they've been robbed on a mountain, which is way worse than getting robbed at, say, the YMCA.
Yes.
And if you're counting on having enough oxygen for the 7-bottle requirement and they're not there, you may as well just set yourself down and let the mountain take you. That or return to base camp, whatever the vibe is.
Wherever the vibe is, crazy.
Everest made headlines in 2019 for the long lines of climbers waiting at the summit and the lives lost as a result of being stuck in the punishing cold. But according to Sherpas familiar with the climb, this isn't a new problem. Long lines are annoying at Disney World or the DMV, but a stalled queue at the summit of Everest can cause an agonizing demise. And the longer you wait in line, the less time there is to experience the view and savor the grueling accomplishment of reaching the very top. This overcrowding issue has been blamed on Nepal issuing too many climbing permits. But the weather is also partly to blame for the 2019 fiasco, which shaved the normally fair-weathered window from 2 weeks to about 1 day, causing a rush for the summit.
You'll see a lot of poop and trash.
One less obvious challenge of attempting to scale Everest is that there aren't exactly any rest stops along the climb. So, to put it maturely, where does all the poop go? Climbers have reported taking steps to constipate themselves for the journey, but when nature calls, you are obliged to answer. Digging a hole in the frozen ground is one option, but that gets increasingly difficult to do the higher you go. Everest base camps provide blue barrel toilet substitutes that can be carried to frozen lakes or emptied into pits. But
so if you're taking a poop and you got like that long diarrhea, and you know how cold it is up there, and you're about to poop and it gets stuck right there, so it's like a little bit in your bum and then it's like a little bit out. Like do you have to just break it off like an icicle? Oh my!
Climbers should still expect to find surprises littered throughout the hike, like a frozen dog park. And all that poo can't break down in the freezing temperatures, so the waste shrivels up and releases dangerous gases, which can contaminate the water supply and spread sickness through the base camps. The hundreds of climbing enthusiasts who flock to Everest every year are also devout littering enthusiasts, leaving their trash behind after they head out. Gas canisters, oxygen bottles, broken camping equipment, and slews of unnecessary items get left behind. And with no waste management company on the premises, the trash just sits there. If the hellish conditions of this haunted, corpse-filled mountain don't kill you, the price tag just might. Serious climbers willing to reach new heights have been known to shell out tens of thousands of dollars just to get a crack at that radical rock. It costs over $40,000 to hire a good Sherpa, and trust us, that's one area in which you shouldn't skimp. Some of the best climbers can convince companies to sponsor their attempt, but most regular schlubs save up for decades to complete the sometimes $130,000 trip to Everest's penthouse. Also, Everest does not offer refunds. So if the weather is bad when you make your trip, odds are you're just going to eat that cost, which includes $11,000 for a permit, airfare, lodging, and food. Tack on the cost of the required medical evacuation insurance and climbing equipment, and you might be better off staying at home and renting Cliffhanger. So what do you think? Would you...
Bro, after watching this video, hey, if your true goal is to climb Mount Everest, hey man, I'm telling you, man, please do it. Do how you gotta do it. But me personally, I didn't hear one good thing from climbing Mount Everest other than checking it off your bucket list. If you don't die from the top of it, you're going to die from cost, because if it's raining or storming and you can't actually do it, you can't get no refund for it. So you actually just lost out on the majority of the money you saved up through your whole entire life. Which, I mean, I don't know how you look at it, but I'd be really genuinely sad. Then you could die of other people's poop from the toxins and stuff flying in the air and things like that. and it just sounds bad. And me personally, people that have like anemic or something like that, bro, like you're not going. I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you just genuinely have like that dog in you, just got that raw dog in you. You know what I'm trying to say? You could just push on through it. But me personally, I think I'm gonna stay down here in the cool warmness. You ain't gotta worry about me going up the bit out. You know, Mount Everest, you ain't gotta worry about me. But that's just genuinely crazy though. But okay, in addition to being the highest point on Earth at 29,000 feet above sea level, Mount Everest is 29,000. Matter of fact, let's see something real quick. What is the chance of me actually getting to the top? What is the chance of me getting to the top of Everest? I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but it's okay. Okay. 2006 are essentially double for those 1990s, 2000 between. Many attempting Everest reach summit between 2006, 68%. That's not bad. 64. It's not bad. It ain't the best, but it ain't bad though. You know what I'm trying to say? It's doable. It's very doable if you do it. You know what I'm trying to say? So, hey man, if you guys genuinely do it, man, I say put your all into it. Really grind and get it done. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Me personally, I wouldn't do it because I just couldn't. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But like I tell every people, yeah, man, it's your boy the Real PSW, and I truly love you guys. Like I always say, man, join the NG family. Hit that subscribe button. Also, comment down below. What did you get for Christmas? I want to see it. I want to hear what you got for Christmas. Also, man, like it, help it push out the algorithm, man. Just push it out, man. Just push it out. Hit the like button, man. And it's your boy, the Real PSW, man. Until next time, I NGU family on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I love you. Bye-bye.